Hi friends, this is Jim, back in the shop. Sorry for the background noise. I've got the fans running right now. It's already warm this morning. It's already 80 degrees in the shop and it's 8 a.m. So anyway, thought I'd give you a little shop update and then talk about reaming pipes. So I wanted to show you this bulldog here. I was working on it last week, finished it off. Nice two-tone bulldog there. Got some nice grain on it. Diamond shank. Two-tone finish. A nice Cumberland stem. So this one could have been a straight, or excuse me, a smooth grain pipe, but customer wanted it blasted. So we met in the middle and we did it two-tone, and he really likes it. So I'll get that out, shipped out tomorrow in the mail. Finish on that one turned out really nice. Really happy with that one. Getting ready to start a couple pipes here. Drew up the freehand sitter here, leaving the plateau on the top and on the end of the shank. And usually when you get blocks, they look like this. Okay, packed up with bark and mud. So you actually have to pick all this out of here, and that's what I did with this one here. Used a little awl, picked it all out, and then took a little wire brush, brushed it out, got it all cleaned up. So now it's ready to shape and drill and move forward with that one. So working on that one, and then I'm also working on a brandy sitter. So this is kind of rough shaped right here. It's going to take a little different shape than what it's on here. So, but just kind of drew it out real quick, got my lines down, and it'll sit too on the shank. We'll leave a nice wide shank on that one. So that's what's new with the shop here. Got a bunch of the Bing, Lavat, stack, pot, got all those drawn up, cut out, got those all ready to go. So went and got my nephew yesterday. He lives about 2 hours away, so I went and picked him up, brought him up. And yes, he's at legal smoking age, so we were on the back porch gonna smoke our pipes. And he said, "Hey, you mind if I grab a cigar, Uncle Jimmy?" And I'm like, "Well, I thought you were gonna smoke your pipe." And he said, "Well, it never smokes right." All right, now it's time for a little packing sesh. So I told him, "Hey, get your pipe, get the tobacco you want to smoke. Let's go over how to pack the pipe, light it, tamp it, and do that." So last night we were on the back porch working on that, and he's got it down pretty good now. He was packing it way too tight, and so we had to stop that. I kept it real simple for him and showed him how to pack it in thirds. And if you're not familiar with that, you just take your tobacco, put it loosely in the bowl, tap it a couple of times, let it settle down, gravity feed, push it down halfway in the bowl, fill it back up loosely, tap it a couple of times, push it down to where it's 3/4 of the bowl, and then just put some in the top, lightly push it down, light it up, lightly tamp it, and go from there. So once he got that down, I had him pack the pipe a couple of times, and he could see doing the dry draw through there, like a straw, it comes through nice and easy. Nice wide open straw. Today I'm smoking my one of my shop pipes, Ben Apple. You guys have seen this one in other videos. It's one of my favorite pipes. In it I'm smoking some Old Joe Ranch. And just drinking some water, keeping it simple, staying hydrated. So, reaming pipes. I have to ream my pipes probably about every 4 months or so. And I like a good cake in mine. I've heard some people say you want the cake as thick as a dime. Other people say you want it as thick as a nickel. You're splitting hairs. I mean, that's not much of a difference. what I go by is how do I have to pack the pipe. If I, when this pipe here, I just reamed it when I came out and thought, oh crap, I should have saved that for the video, but sorry, I wanted to smoke it. So, but this pipe, when it's got the right amount of cake in there, I can barely get my index finger in there and stuff it. And as it builds up, I have to switch over to my pinky to stuff it. If it gets tight on my pinky to stuff it, then I gotta ream it, because I'm not gonna be stuffing this pipe with a tamper and smoking it for 15 minutes. It's got a good sized bowl, I wanna utilize that. Plus, if you get too much cake in there and you're smoking it and it heats up, you can actually crack the bowl, because you get too much in there. So you gotta keep some maintenance going and ream it out. I've had some people ask me, how do I build so much cake all the time? It's because I smoke a lot of burley blends, I think. I always get a lot of cake in my pipes. But got a couple of tools here. Senior Reamer, great tool. I use this thing all the time. If you're not familiar with it, this is the tool. As you screw it in, the jaws open up. It's for a bigger bowl. So start with it all the way out. Jaws are down. Get it in there. Tighten it up to where it just barely touches the sides. Give it a quarter crank. Start taking it out. Don't try and get all of the cake out at this, in one shot. It's too much, too hard. You can screw your pipe up. You can actually slip, mar up the pipe. I had a friend who dropped his pipe while trying to do it and broke his stem. Got to be careful while you're doing it. Put down a newspaper or some paper towels, because it's going to get messy when you start reaming it out. But you just open it up a little bit. Let's see, I got a pipe here. Okay, take the pipe, put it in there, open it till it just touches it. Okay, just barely nicking it right now. Open it a quarter turn, and then start reaming. Go all the way around. Try and get nice and smooth. This is tapered. It works really well in an acorn shape bowl. In a U-shaped bowl, it doesn't get it all the way down along the sides. So I also have a tool here. Let's see where I put the tool. I've got so much stuff up here, I don't even see it. Okay, there you go. This tool here I got at the local brick and mortar from Savinelli. It's a tool for cleaning the bowl of your pipe. And as you can see, it's like a triangle. And it's rounded at the bottom, so that if you have an acorn shaped bowl, you can keep that shape. You have to kind of rock it up a little bit to clean the sides down at the bottom of the bowl for a U-shaped type of bowl. So this tool is really handy too. Help cleans it up and smooth it out. And then make sure when you get done reaming it, blow on the stem, blow the crap out of there. Don't just stuff it and start smoking it. You get a mouthful of carbon. So there's a couple of tools there. There's another tool. The pipe knife looks like a little pocket knife with a tamper on the end of it. I think Mr. Brogg makes them, and they usually have a blade on there and a pick, and so you can actually use that knife to go ahead and scrape down the bowl. Just be extra careful while you're doing it. You put your thumb on there and you're scraping it and you slip, you could actually cut your thumb, depending on how sharp your knife is. That's why I like using this one. Also, in the back, for your draft hole. People don't realize that when you smoke, the carbon doesn't just build up in the bowl itself, it actually starts building up in the draft hole too, and sometimes that'll start closing off. You have a hard time getting a pipe cleaner through there, you have a hard time drawing, and you might not know what the heck's going on, and that's because that's starting to clog up down there. So this little tool here helps out. You can gently just screw this down in there, pull it out, make sure you get the crap out of there, open it up so it's a nice clean draw for you. Just make sure that your draft hole is this size or larger. You don't want to try and screw it into a smaller draft hole and get it stuck. That's experience talking. So kind of a pain to get out. So anyway, great tool. You can get them at like SmokingPipes.com. I got this one at the local brick and mortar one day when I was in there. So, but yeah, it's important to ream the pipes. You want cake, but you don't want too much cake. I was down at the local shop one day. Older gentleman walked in. He was going to test out some tobacco, so he bought an ounce of it, and he was sitting there and he was putting it in his pipe, you know, one leaf at a time, and he was tamping it down with his tamp, and his tamp head was a little bit too big for how much cake he had in the darn bowl. So he was asking if they had a tamper with a smaller head on it so he could get it down in there easier, and he ended up getting a check tool because it has a smaller head on it, and he was able to do his pipe there. And we asked him, why don't you ream that? And he goes, well, I don't know how to do it. I don't have the tools, and I don't want to screw it up. It smokes so cool now. It's great. I love it. And we're trying to explain to him, you know, pretty soon it's going to come to where it almost closes up, and you're running the risk of cracking your bowl. You really need to ream it. And so he ended up dumping the tobacco and letting one of the guys at the shop ream it for him, and it still smoked cool. It worked really well for him. So anyway, I gotta get back to work. I gotta get to drilling and shaping these pipes up, so it's gonna be a hot one today. So anyway, be well, stay smoky, and have a good one. Bye.